Stephen, the dust has barely settled on the season, but already preparations have begun for the future with the arrival of Kamara.
Yeah, we're really happy with that news. I think we've signed a fantastic player with huge potential. This is a player who has played a lot of football at the highest level. He's recently been called up to the national team on his recent performances. So I'm absolutely delighted to welcome him to Aston Villa, and he'll certainly make our team and our squad an awful lot stronger. So it's a big day for the club, and I think it shows our intent already straight after the season that's just passed us, and it shows our intent going into the new one. So I'm delighted.
And he's a young player with European experience in the Champions League, Europa League. What do you think he'll bring to Aston Villa?
Well, he is a young player in terms of age, but he plays with a lot of maturity. He's played a lot of games in one of the top 5 leagues. He's robust, he's very consistent, and he's exactly the type of player that we need if we want to go to the next level, because he suits our style. And I've got no doubt once he settles, the Aston Villa fans will be witnessing a very, very top player.
And in signing, someone who can play defensive midfielder, you've addressed a position of need as well.
He can play as a defensive midfielder. He can also play as a left 8 or a right 8 in our system. He's also capable of playing as a centre back in the middle of a back 3. He can also play to the right or the left. So he has got a bit of versatility, but we have signed him as a midfielder. But it's always nice as a manager to know that someone can take on tactical information. We've watched him a lot at Marseille, and he's played in numerous roles with consistency at a high level. I think it was well documented. I went out to watch the game against Nantes, and he was man of the match clearly as a centre midfielder in a 2. And both sides of the game, out of possession, in possession, he had a lot of quality. And we couldn't wait to get the signing done. It's only happened recently because he wanted to be very respectful to Marseille, which is understandable. But to get the news recently and to get this signed is a big step for Aston Villa.
And as you say there, the club have moved so swiftly on this deal. Has it set the tone, do you hope, for the summer window?
Well, to be honest with you, I think the tone was set in the previous window. We made 4 signings. Robin Olsen, I think you've seen him yesterday perform at a high level and more than capable of coming in to challenge Emmy moving forward. We're hoping to maybe get some progress on that one moving forward. I thought Callum, Lucas and Phil again showed the reasons why we brought them into the club. Against the top side, they performed ever so well. So I think the tone was set in the previous window. We've got superb backing from the owners, Christian and Johan, to help get them signings done. And I think again, straight away, we've moved swiftly, we've moved quietly to try and get another big player in the door. And to do that on day 1 of the off-season is a massive step. And now it's time to push and move forward for the next piece of the jigsaw.
Yeah, and this signing kind of marks the start of your first full season as head coach. How important is this time going to be now over the next couple of months to implement the changes you want to see across the team and the club?
Very important, and we've used the last 6 months to analyse the whole playing staff. We've tried to implement a style and an identity which you can see clearly is a work in progress. There's been a lot of positives, there's also been some inconsistencies, and there's a lot of areas that we need to work on to get it how we want. So we want to use this stage now to try and recruit extremely well and then take that into a full pre-season with the group, and we're hoping by the back end of the pre-season it looks more like a Steven Gerrard Aston Villa team, and then we can be better and stronger going into the new season. But I'm extremely excited. I have been for the last 6 months. I've watched everyone really close, staff members too, and we're going to continue to shape and polish this up so we're better and better prepared for next season.
And you came into the club in November when we were in a bit of a precarious position on a bad run. Results since then would put us 9th in the Premier League table. How would you reflect on what's been so far?
Well, it's certainly a work in progress. As I say, I've seen a lot of positive things. We've got some fantastic players here, and there's certainly the base to go and build something special from, I believe, and I'm confident we can do that. It's difficult when you inherit a group of players that have been used to a different style in the middle of a season, and straight away you've got to go into the best league in the world with the best competition and challenges. That's very testing and challenging, but we've managed it really well. We've managed to steer ourselves away from any mess at the end of the season. We've remained in the Premier League. We finished 14th, which is not acceptable for this club, and we're we're not happy with that at all. But results since we've come in the door show that we finished 9th. That is something to build on. It's respectable, and you know, next season we want to improve on that as well. And hopefully during a full campaign we can push up towards the top half of the league.
And the season ended in dramatic fashion at Manchester City, where there's certainly some very positive things on show from the team, but ultimately we came up just short. Did that kind of sum up some of the things that have gone on here? Those
I think so. I think that's a fair question. We were outstanding for 75 minutes. We were in control. And I don't say in control in terms of dominating possession, because that's always going to be a challenge against one of the best teams in the world. But in terms of the players going out and carrying out a game plan, 3/4 of it was near enough perfect. And we ran out of steam, we ran out of energy. We tried to make changes to get help and support to the players on the pitch. But unfortunately, once we conceded the first one, the momentum changed in the game. City were relentless, you've got to pay credit to them. But I've seen enough in the game, enough positive things, to know that we're not too far away from becoming a really good team.
Yeah, and what characteristics and traits would you like to see the team going forward to make, as you say, a Steven Gerrard team?
I want them to be mentally stronger throughout the full game. I want players that are obsessed to win. I want us to really bottle the feeling of our inconsistencies this year, and I want us to be really obsessed in pre-season to become better prepared mentally, physically, and be prepared for a full season. But I want winners in the dressing room. I don't want players who are content with finishing 14th in the league and going out to cup competitions early. That's got to hurt. And we'll try and set a culture and a standard here where it's not acceptable to be inconsistent. That's the challenge moving forward.
And the fans know how ambitious the owners are, and you and your staff are. How optimistic do you think the supporters can be about the future and where the club is headed?
Listen, we want them to be optimistic. We want them to be excited. We're going to try and make acquisitions to get them even more excited. But us as a staff, us as players, we've got to deliver for the supporters. They're the most important part of the club. As I say, the owners have been very supportive. They always have been. And even before I came in, I think they've really done a fantastic job at Aston Villa. Christian and Johan, I know, share the same ambition as myself, and we need that to filter down to the whole of the club. And everyone who's representing Aston Villa needs to come back after a summer break, fresh, re-energised, reset and ready to go again, because we can't be satisfied with how this season's gone.